Good morning, Elazar. Good morning.
Today.
Morning, Elazar.
Morning, Ernie. We can always learn 2 daf today, so such a short daf.
We're on the Chav. Well, tomorrow night we're going to learn at 8 o'clock.
I know, it's almost, we can almost such a short daf, so yeah. The next Masechta is what, Chagiga?
Agiga.
Yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure. Looks like next week already.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So we
Okay.
said that if the Nasi dies, nobody goes to shul, but Korin Shiva V'yotzin, they read from a Sefer Torah when they have to read, but everybody else davens at home. Rabbi Shua ben Karchoim, Rabbi Lo Shel Yelchu V'yitaylu B'shuk. They can't go to the park. They stay at home and they're quiet, like Aveli. They don't teach midrashim in the house of the Avel. He would teach Agadata in the Beis Avel. Ton Rabbanon. Avel Shabbos Rishonah in Yotzim Pesach Beisel. The first Shabbos, he doesn't leave his house. Shniya Yotzev Eni Yoshev in Komo. He leaves his house, but he doesn't sit in his regular place in shul. Shlishis Yoshev in Komo Ve'ena Medaber. The third Shabbos, he sits in his place, but he doesn't speak. Revius Harei Kol Revius, the fourth Shabbos, he's back to regular person. We don't have to say that din. Everybody's coming to his house to be menachem him. Ella, shniya, eni yotzei pesach beiso. Shlishit yotzev eni yoshev imkomo. Revius yoshev imkomo v'inu medaber. He sits in his place, doesn't speak. Chamish is harei kol adam. The Shulchan Aruch says, "B'shavua rishon shel ha'avel eino evel yotzei pesach beiso afilu lishmoa birchas chuppah mila." Yesh makilim matim latzeis balayim kazeh. L'tzorach davar avid muter v'chein amini. If it's some kind of loss, he can do it. Ton Rabbanon, kol shloishim yom l'nesuin. You cannot get married the first 30 days. Mesa Yishto, Asr Lisa, Isha Cheres, Achiavra Lav Shlosha Regolim. If he loses his wife, he cannot marry until 3 yontivs pass. And that's the halacha. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Regel Rishon V'Sheni Asr Shlishi Mutter. The Imeno Bani Mutter Lisa Lalter. If he has no children, he can marry right away. Mishum Bitul Pri Reviyah. Because you have to do pruvu. Or if he has little children, mutar lisa la'alta, he can marry also right away. Because they partner the sasal, otherwise he's going to take care of the children. Ma'isa shemesa ishto shel Yosef HaKohen, the wife of Yosef HaKohen died. V'amar la'choyse b'veis hakvaros, he told his wife's sister, l'chiu parnasis b'nei hachoyse, go and take care of your nieces, meaning he wanted to marry her. He didn't have relations with her until a long time. What does it mean, after 30 days? The Shulchan Aruch says a woman whose husband dies doesn't have to wait 3 Yomim Tovim. She can marry after 30 days. But she has to wait 3 months because of Havchana, because we want to make sure who the correct father is if she gets pregnant. Torah Rabbana, Kol Shloshim Yom L'Giyutz. You can't iron your clothes for 30 days. Echad Kelim Chadoshim, Echad Kelim Yishanim, Yotzim Mitoch HaMechabed. Whether it's new clothing, whether it's old clothing that just came out of the iron. Rabbi Yomi Lo Asur L'Kelim Chadoshim B'vad. Rabbi says the Isser is only new garments. Only white new clothing. Abaya Nafak regarded the Sarbala. He would walk with a certain type of white garment, who held like Rebbe, that only Kelim Chadoshim are prohibited. Rava Nafik Bechimtzuz Rumisa Sumkas Achadati. He would wear a red Roman new garment. He held Kadas Krab Lezer Rab Shimon, who only assered white clothing if they were new. But Beishamu Shabbos Oila, you can count Shabbos in the days of Shiva, but the minimum of seconds doesn't break Shiva, like Yontif breaks Shiva. Bnei Yehuda Vnei Kli Lahani Amri Yesh Avelus B'Shabbos. There is Dvarim B'Tzina, things that you do privately. There is Avelus in the home. Bahani Amri ain't Avelus B'Shabbos. Others say there's no Avelus B'Shabbos at all. Mandam Yesh Avelus B'Shabbos. Those who say there's Avelus B'Shabbos Diktani Oila, because you see it's counted among the 7 days. Mandam ain't Avelus B'Shabbos Diktani ain't Mafsekes. Well, you have to be told ain't Mafsekes even though there's no Avelus. Because Isak and Yesh Avelus B'Shabbos. Because if you're going to tell me there's Avelus, Ashta Avelus Nagaf Sukim Abo, would there ever be a question that it doesn't break it? So why does it say it's counted if there's no Avelus? Because I did Kavod Mr. Seifa ain't an oilim. In the Seifa, where it talked about Yontif, where it says they don't count on a Reisha Oila, they wanted to show by Shabbos is different. Now, if there's Avelus, why do we need the Mishnah to say it doesn't break the Shiva? Of course it doesn't break. Again, it's editorial. Mishum de Kavaila Mister Sefer Mafsik. Thereby Yontif does Mafsik. Tana Reisha ain't a Mafsek. So we have to be told by Shabbos it doesn't break it. Lema Ketanoi, let us say that this issue of if there's Avelus for Shabbos or not is a Machlokes Tanoi. Misha Mesa Mutalafanav. Somebody's in the room with a mace. Oichel b'vaysacher, he has to eat in a different house. Ein lo b'vaysacher, if he doesn't have a second home, oichel b'vaysacher, he eats in his friend's house. Ein lo b'vaysacher, also the mechitza sort tfach, he has to build a mechitza 10 tfachim between him and the mace, then he can eat. Ein lo dover lasos mechitza, matzir ponav oichel. If he doesn't have material to build the mechitza, he turns his face away from the mace and eats. Ve'eno mace of oichel. He doesn't recline. Vein oichel basar, doesn't eat meat. Vein shoyse yayin, doesn't drink wine. Vein mavarech, because remember, he's an onaim. The body hasn't been buried yet, so there's no mitzvahs. So he doesn't make brachas before eating. Vein mazamin doesn't participate in the zimun. Vein mavarchet alav, you can't include him in a zimun. Vein mazamin alav. Upater mikri ashma. Uminat tefillin. He's potter from the Amida, from Kriya Shema, from tefillin called mitzvah samos b'Torah. V'Shabbos meisav oichel. Shabbos, he does everything normal. He reclines, he eats, oichel basar v'shoyse yayin, mevarech u'mezamin, mevarech u'mezamin. He can bench, they can include him in the zimun. Chayiv v'Kriya Shema v'tefillin called mitzvah samos b'Torah. You see, this Tana seems to suggest that there's no avelus on Shabbos. Rabbi Gamliel Oimer, Mitochshin is chayv be'elim, is chayv be'kula. Real says because he's chayv in these, he's chayv in everything. Now, what is it? What did that add? Amar Rav Yochanan, tash m'shamita ikiminai. The nafkamina would be tash m'shamita, according to Rabbi Gamliel, who says that because he's chayv in these, he's chayv in everything. would hold that you can also have mitzvahs ona with his wife. Right? My love akamifli, the Marsavar Yesh Avelos b'Shabbos. And therefore, things that are private, for example, Tashmish Amita, you would not do. Marsavar ain't Avelos b'Shabbos. Gamliel would hold, there's no Avelos, therefore you're allowed to do Tashmish. The Gemara says, Mimai, who says that this Machlekes Tanoim is what you're trying to say? Dilma Adkan Lekomer Tanakama Hasam El Mishum Dumei Sumut Telefona. The reason why the Tanakama doesn't allow because the mace wasn't buried yet. But in a regular case of an avel, where the mace has been buried, maybe he would not allow you to do these things. Avelis doesn't start until the burial. So I understand that he was matir tashmish amita because the Avelis hadn't started. But if there was kavura and he's already starting the Avelis, maybe there would be an isur tashmish amita.
Let me ask you, and Shabbos, if the seventh day is Shabbos, do we say mitzvah sayom kakula? So he'd get up in the morning too, Shabbos morning?
Yeah. Well, he's not sitting. There's no menachemim. In our halacha, people don't menachem him on Shabbos. So there's, right?
So when it happened a few months ago, my brother passed away in Israel. They buried him. So I got up, the Shiva was over on Shabbos. So I got up from, we had a million by my house. Then we got up and
then you got up and you walked around, right?
Right, on Shabbos.
Right.
So we're supposed to say Yom Kippur then.
Shabbos is the last day of Shiva. It doesn't extend to Sunday and Chanami.
So, but then you start the shloshim, right in that.
Shloshim is you don't shave.
So what other restrictions would there be? They have the shloshim takes precedent, or wait till the next day for shloshim. How does that work?
Shloshim starts from the beginning.
You can't get the haircut on Shabbos either. I mean, so Shabbos doesn't make a difference.
Right. So, yeah.
And like Walter said, all of these things start already at the beginning of Shiva.
Right. Yeah.
It's worth reading the halacha, the Shulchan Aruch, what he says about Shabbos. Yeah, it says it's worth reading that.
It says Misha Mesa Mutalafanav. Misha Mesa Mutalafanav Shemesa Echad Mikroiva. If he hasn't been buried yet,
not that halacha. It's the halacha on the end about Shabbos, on Avelis b'Shabbos. Avelis b'Shabbos, right at the beginning, at the end. It's interesting, the halacha there.
He doesn't bring it here in Hebrew. Let me see.
Okay. So I say, you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, Avelis b'Shabbos. On Shabbos, the restrictions of mourning apply in private. This is the opinion of Rabbi Yochanan.
Wait.
Isaac.
Yeah. It says like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he just said that.
Im haya davar b'Shabbos or b'Yontiv, oichel basar v'shoytze yain. It's if he's the own name. Umavarach v'chai b'chol hamitzvos. Aser b'tash v'shamita. Holech lebeis hakneses umispalel sham. V'im holech b'Shabbos samuch l'tchum k'dei sheyuchal lasok achar Shabbos v'sarchameis chal alav aninus b'shas shoyle. So in a Chanami, they do go to shul, and they do eat everything, but they're also b'tash v'shamita. Is that what you wanted to say?
No. This carries on. It says that this Rabbi Yochanan, the halacha is in accordance with him, even when he argues against Rabbi Shmuel. This is also the halacha according to similar discussions, right? Therefore, a mourn is prohibited, like you said, from prohibited in engaging sexual relations and bathe even on Shabbos. However, he may not show any public signs of mourning, and therefore he may not wrap his head in mourning like the Ishmaelite. He wears shoes and his bed is upright, and he does not wear torn garments. He has no other garments. He should reverse the garments so that he did. Torah study is prohibited as it is considered a private matter. However, he may read the Torah portion twice in its translation, as this type of study is considered to be similar to the recitation of Shema. If the mourner is called to the Torah, he should go up to the Torah. For not going is a public display of mourning. Similarly, one who is called to the Torah every week, a priest in a synagogue, where there are no other priests, he may also read from the Torah. Shulchan Aruch, Paskins like that. So that's the interesting halacha, because nobody calls up. Nobody calls up, but if you are called up, you're supposed to go up.
Very good.
Sure.
Go ahead. Oh, he's going to have Avelis B'Shabbos on the next page. And we'll read it tomorrow.
Okay.
Anyway, tomorrow night the Navi Shir is 7:00, and the Daf Yomi is at 8:00.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
Very good.
Shabbos, everybody. Good
Shabbat
Shabbos.